Now, one of the biggest of the main themes in the book, The Guide for the Perplexed by Maimonides, is the concept of Creatio ex nihilo, which basically is the belief that the universe is created and is not eternal. And Maimonides is in his book tries to argue against the teachings by earlier philosophers, in particular Aristotle, who put across this idea that the universe was eternal, that there is no beginning of the universe. It has always been there, and it will always be there. Now, Maimonides was a Jewish believer, and Jewish belief, the core of Jewish belief is that the universe is created. So he tries to argue against the eternity of the universe, and so he calls it the creatio ex nihilo, and he says that for him, God created the universe as it is explained in the book of Genesis, even though he says that account is not literal, it is figurative. There must be more things that are more still hidden, at least to the majority of us. And he says, I'll quote him, he says, the universe, of course, the arguments start with the universe is either eternal or it has a beginning or it had a beginning. And he says if it had a beginning, there must necessarily exist a being which caused the beginning. This is clear to common sense, for a thing that has had a beginning cannot be the cause of its own beginning. Another must have caused it. The universe was therefore created by God. So here he's arguing that he's kind of also arguing about the existence of God. He says that the universe, so if we take it to be that the universe had a beginning, then there must be a force that caused that beginning. We can't assume that the universe just came out of nowhere by itself without a force behind it. And in fact, he says in another part of the book, not where I got this quote from, he says that those who argue that the universe came into existence by accident are wrong on one they are wrong, and there is one way to prove, or one of the ways to realize that they are wrong is that the universe is not guided by accidents. Everything happens as if it is planned to happen that way. He talks of if the universe came about by accident, then we wouldn't have a situation where things happen in kind of like a regular or organized manner. We wouldn't have, for example, those accidents will still be happening even in things like giving birth. Like a goat could easily give birth to a human, an accident, or a human to a cow, an accident. But he says that does not happen in the universe. The universe is so much organized, as if there's an algorithm that guides things. There is an intelligence that guides things. So because of that, it discredits the belief that the universe came into existence through an accident. I might not have really brought out his argument in its best form, but basically that's what he argues. If you read the book yourself, you get his real detailed argument about that. And he also says, if on the other hand the universe were eternal, it could be in various ways to be proven that apart from the things which constitute the universe, there exists a being which is neither body nor force, nor force in body, and which is eternal, not preceded by the cause, and immutable. That being is God. So he says, even if we say the universe is eternal, then we still have an argument, a logical argument to try to prove that existence of God. But anyway, for him, his stand is that the universe is created. And I think personally, I found his argument on this to be, while I'm not saying his arguments are not strong, it felt like the arguments by Aristotle that he explains before he gives his own to be still very, very strong, and still not really fall after he explains his argument. So I still didn't feel persuaded that I can say the universe is created or is not is created. I can still see how it makes sense to think that the universe is eternal. Now, here is one point that he makes that then makes his argument, he kind of sabotages his argument. To me personally, I'm not saying this is my personal opinion, so don't take it to be like this is what it should be. So he says that while the universe is created, he then goes ahead and argues why the universe cannot be destroyed. And that, it kind of lost me on that, because I'm like, if it is created, then it can easily be destroyed. But he argues the universe is created, but it will be there forever, which kind of like, I didn't really understand that part of his argument. So anyways, Maimonides believes or argues, let me not use the word believe, because he really does a good job trying to use logical arguments in his book. So it's not really about belief, it's about his logical argument. He argues that the universe was created and the universe was not eternal. And I think this is the main thing where he differs, especially with Aristotle. This is the main point where he differs with Aristotle. He does agree with Aristotle on so many other things, but when it comes to this, the eternity of the universe, this is where he disagrees with Aristotle.